Let us pray. Almighty God, in your wisdom and goodness, have appointed the office of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people. We beseech you to behold with the abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. I'm able to support Honorable Adega sitting in place for the majority. I'm not able to support the whip. So maybe Honorable Adega, could you please confirm if you have quorum for the business to go on?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There's quorum in the House.
Okay, Clerk, can you take us through the order paper for the day?
Order paper number 318 of today, Wednesday, 25th June 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
The sectoral chair for budget and appropriation committee. Okay, honorable members, I'm not able to support the chair for budget committee. If there's any member maybe assigned to do that on behalf, I can allow you to go ahead and do that. Any member for budget and appropriation? Yes, Honorable Moses Ochele. Honorable Moses Ochele, can you take your seat? Take your seat. Yes, Honorable Nereo Kombo.
Madam Speaker, there are a few amendments that the committee was working on. Maybe if Madam Speaker, you allow that we table it tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, fine. We'll see how to reschedule it for tabling tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. So we can go on to the next order. Clerk.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Yes, Honorable Nerea Kombo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker and honorable members, I wish to give a notice of motion on the installation of surveillance cameras to enhance security and safety within county facilities, streets, and roads.
Our next notice of motion. Honorable Nancy Matara, I can see you on the notice of motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, that pursuant to the provision order of number 45(1) of the standing orders, that this House approves the call of action on national government commitment to the development project in Kisumu County.
Our next order, clerk.
Order number 7, statements.
Yes, Honorable James Were of Nyalenda B.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to standing orders number 41, 2B, to request a statement from the chairperson of Sectoral Committee on Trade, Tourism, Industry and Marketing regarding the current status of operation of Kisumu Trade Fund. Madam Speaker, the Kisumu County Trade Fund was established in accordance with the Section 8 of Kisumu County Trade Fund Act 2015, whose object and purpose pursuant to the Section 8/2 of the Act was to provide funds to be used for granting loans to assist traders living in Kisumu County and to promote their businesses as such a cost which is affordable within the county. And Speaker, aware that the Assembly has been appropriating funds to the funds every financial year for the purposes of performing its mandate, it has come to my knowledge that this Assembly has hardly been furnished with financial reports on the status of operations of the fund, be it quarterly, semi-annually, or annually, as provided by the Public Finance Management Act 2012. Madam Speaker, consequently, the audit reports on the financial statement of the fund has been missing contrary to the Article 229/4 B and 229/7, which requires that within 6 months after the end of each financial year, the Auditor General shall audit and report in respect of that financial year of the accounts of all the funds and authorities of national and county governments and submit the same to the County Assembly. Madam Speaker, in light of the above, I seek statement from the chairperson of the Committee on Trade, Tourism, Industry and Marketing to provide a response on the following. 1, whether the trade fund is currently operational and has earned interest over the past 3 financial years as contemplated by Kisumu County Trade Fund Act.
Honorable members, you're interfering with the statement laying. So maybe if you have to consult in low tones. Honorable Moses Ochele, you're a senior member, please obey the orders of the House. Yes, Honorable, where to go on? Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, 2, whether the trade fund has received budgetary allocation for the financial years 2022-2023, 2023-2024, 2024-2025, and whether its financial statements have been duly submitted to the Office of Auditor General as required by the law. 3, Madam Speaker, whether the trade fund has been equitably distributed across all wards. Who are the beneficiaries? Who the beneficiaries have been during the said financial years, and to what extent the Lender B ward has benefited. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, Honorable James Were has just laid a statement on the matter of Kisumu County Trade Fund, and I'd like to give an opportunity to the chair or Committee of Trade, Tourism Trade, to maybe respond to it. If she's not in the House, then I'll give an opportunity to any member of the committee. Yes, Honorable Bill Oliver.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, our chair is not around, and I wanted to request can we be given time so that we will respond as a committee and give our report to this House.
Okay. So I'll give the committee 21 days to report back to the House on the matter. So on the next statement, that is Honorable Nancy Matara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to request for a statement on unfair trade practices, exploitative lending, and alleged sexual abuse in the markets. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 41-2C, I rise to request a statement from the chairperson of the Sectoral Committee of the Trade, Industrialization, Tourism, and Cooperative, and the chairperson of JLAC regarding emerging reports of unfair trade practices, exploitative lending, and disturbing allegations of sexual abuse targeting vulnerable women in our local markets. Honorable Speaker, there are credible concerns that trades are flooding our local markets with imported eggs from neighboring country Uganda without complying with the tax and quality regulations. This practice undermines local poultry farmers, distorts fair competition, and deprives the county of much needed revenue. Further, there are reports of individuals and informal lenders, commonly referred as Shylocks, operating within the markets and imposing exorbitantly high interest rates of small-scale traders. These exploitative practices are driving many women out of business and deepening household poverty. Disturbingly, Honorable Speaker, it has been brought to my attention that there are allegations involving certain individuals, reportedly of Maasai origin, who extend their credit to women in the markets and upon failure to repay, allegedly subject them to sexual exploitation. Report indicates that some instances, not just but several men are involved in these abuse, which amount to a gross violation of human rights and dignity. Honorable Speaker, in light of these grave matters, I request that the respective committees, number one, investigate and report on the extent and legality of eggs importation from Uganda and their impact on the local farmers. Two, establish whether the activities of informal lenders in our markets are regulated and what protection exists for small-scale traders. Three, liaise with the law enforcement and social services to investigate the reported incident of sexual exploitation and provide safeguards for the affected women. Number four, recommend urgent intervention, including policy or legislative action, to protect our market traders, particularly women, from unfair trade, financial exploitation, and abuse. Thank you.
Honorable members, in the matter of the statement raised by Honorable Nancy Matara, is a matter of unfair trade practices, exploitation, lending, and alleged sexual abuse in the market. I'd like to commit this statement to the Committee of Trade Tourism, and since the chair was not in, maybe Honorable Bill Oliver, you can step in for her.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on that also, I wanted to ask your chair to give us time so that we can handle it. At least
Okay.
2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll therefore give the committee 21 days maximum to report back to the House. We have the next statement by Honorable Frederick Adonija.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I raise pursuant to Standing Order number 41, 2C, to request a statement from the Chairperson of the Labour and Social Welfare Committee regarding reports of severe labour violation and exploitation at Keda Ceramic Miwani plant in Kisumu County. Honorable Speaker, credible reports indicate systematic malpractice at the company, including underpayment, intimidation, and arbitrary dismissal of workers, particularly pregnant women and employees who resist unethical directives. It is further alleged that the company misclassified food allowance to evade tax obligation, stage cleanups to mislead auditors, and operates under unsafe and unsanitary working condition. Alarmingly, there are reports of police harassment against whistleblowers, reportedly at the behest of the company's admin managers, Mr. Huang Zuen. In light of this serious allegation, I request that the chairperson furnish this House with a response on the following. Number one, whether Keda Ceramic has engaged in unlawful labor practice, including forced resignation, intimidation of staff, arbitrary dismissal of pregnant employees, and suppression of workers' rights through threats and retaliatory actions. Number two, whether the company has conducted or been subjected to any credible audit or investigation regarding alleged misclassification of salaries and allowances, tax evasion practices, and falsification of internal compliance reports, and if so, what the findings were. Number three, whether Keda Ceramic is in breach of occupational health and safety standard and local employment obligation, including subjecting workers to extended working hours without proper compensation, falsifying ISO audit process, maintaining unsafe working environment, and impending local hiring in Kisumu. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, Honorable Frederick Adonija has just laid a statement on the alleged severe labor violations, corruption, and exploitation at Keda Ceramics in Miwani, in the Miwani plant in Kisumu County. And it is so stated that it should be connected, it should be committed to the Committee of Labor and Social Welfare. And I can spot the chair for Labor and Social Welfare, Honorable Zach Okoyo. Maybe you can give a statement on that.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would ask you, if you so wish, you give us time and then we will respond to it. Thank you.
Yes, yes, thank you, Honorable Zach Okoyo, and I'll commit this to the Committee of Labor and Social Welfare, and I'll give the committee 21 days to report back to this House. We have another statement by Honorable Adonija Frederick.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to person standing order number 41 2C to request a statement from the chairperson for the Water, Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change Committee regarding serious allegation of environmental pollution by Keda Ceramic Limited at its Miwani facility in Kisumu County. Honorable Speaker, it has come to the attention of residents in the Kabar, Miwani area that Keda Ceramic Limited is discharging untreated effluents into the Roba River and the Nyakoko stream. Water sample and independent test conducted by environmental expert at Oroba River Bridge near Miwani Station and along the Nyakoko stream have confirmed the presence of contamination originating from the company's operations. The effluent, described as a cloudy white discharge, is believed to pose an immediate and long-term threat to the public, food security, water safety, the livelihoods of farmers and fishermen, and the community's cultural and traditional practices that are intertwined with these vital water bodies. The Oroba River and Nyakoko stream have served as essential resources for the Kabar, Miwani, and downstream communities since the 18th century. The Constitution of Kenya guarantees every citizen the right to clean and healthy environment. Under Article 42, a right further affirmed in Section 3 of the Environmental Management and Coordination Act, EMCA. Additionally, Regulation 4 of the Water Quality Regulation 2006 strictly prohibits the discharge of untreated effluent into aquatic ecosystem, while Regulation 9 sets specific effluent discharge standard, which appear to have been violated in this case. Honorable Speaker, in light of this concern, I request that the chairperson table before this Honorable House information regarding the following key issues. Number one, whether the company has water treatment infrastructure in place to ensure that no harmful or untreated industrial waste reaches natural water bodies. Number two, whether the company conduct internal environmental audit or commission any third-party environmental assessment relating to waste discharge. If so, can those findings be made public? Number 3, the specific environmental management measures has KEDA Ceramic undertaken in response to the confirmed water contamination in the area. Number 4, what is the company what is the company response to the allegation that its activities pose a threat to public health, farming, fishing, livelihoods, and the long-standing cultural practices of the Kabar, Miwani, and Kipigori communities? Number 5, how does the company intend to engage with and compensate affected local communities whose water access, economic activities, and environmental rights have been compromised by its operations? Honorable Speaker, the continued pollution of natural water source violates the law and undermines the dignity, health, and economic survival of the entire communities. This matter demands immediate action, transparency, and accountability from both the polluter and the environmental regulators. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, we therefore have the statement on the alleged environmental pollution of Oroba River and Nyakoko Stream by KEDA Ceramics in Moroni Sub-County by Honorable Frederick Adonija. And I'm able to support the chair for the Committee of Water, Environment, Natural Resources. That is Honorable Samuel Dede. Do you have a response on this statement?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Indeed, a statement has been raised from a member representing the Melil ward. And the member needs some responses, which most of the responses need site visits, Madam Speaker, to see that the real allegations are talking about the KEDA Ceramic company, which, Madam Speaker, we request that if given time, we go for the site visit and interrogate on the issues which the member is raising. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable member, then I'll give the committee 21 days to report back to the House. Will that be sufficient enough?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We are good to go with the 21 days, being that fact-finding information needs site visits. It's okay with 21 days. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yeah, honorable members, whenever we commit a statement to the committee and give 21 days, it doesn't mean that they have to take 21 days to report back. It is within the 21 days. If they can report back within a week, no problem, so long as they don't exceed the 21 days granted. We are still on statement time, so I'll open the floor for any statement. Yes, Honorable Nerea Kombo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise on a personal statement just to applaud my male honorable colleagues who today arrived very well dressed, upholding the dignity of the House. Madam Speaker, allow me first of all appreciate and recognize Honorable Seth Okumu, who is very well dressed today, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you can see how neat and presentable Honorable Seth Okumu is. Madam Speaker, allow me also recognize and appreciate my own brother, my own 30% colleague, Honorable James Oyugiwere. Madam Speaker, James Oyugiwere almost went the other side, but I'm glad that he's now back. And Honorable Adonija, Madam Speaker, is equally very smart, and I want to appreciate. Madam Speaker, you can see Honorable Ochele, Honorable Jailak, very well dressed. And Madam Speaker, Honorable Onditi from Miwani Ward. Ombei, sorry. The Honorable Member representing Ombei Ward, Madam Speaker, if you can allow him to rise on his feet. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Member is very smart. So I just want to encourage my Honorable colleagues that you keep the spirit and uphold the dignity of the House. Honorable Adega is meditating with his eyes closed. So, Madam Speaker, but he's very smart, and I want to appreciate them, Madam Speaker.
I'm always smart.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, if we could emulate our brothers as ladies, then Honorable Boyton, even though he's in sport shoes, not official shoes, Madam Speaker, but he has tried to be smart today. So our honorable female colleagues, if we could emulate our brothers. And the smartest, Madam Speaker, goes to the Gen Z of the House. Honorable Billy today, followed by Honorable Nyaoke Pastor, who is always very smart. Madam Speaker, and I issue my statement. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, honorable members, from Honorable Nerea's statement, it seems there's something going on with the gentleman in the House. So I'd like to commit this to Jailer Committee to please find out why why all of a sudden they're smartly dressed, and bring back that report to the House within 1 week.
Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I don't get the joke quite well. Is it about smartness that you like us to dig deep into, or something else? Because if it is matter of smartness, then it should be directed to the Committee of Welfare, and maybe to an extent, tourism, because whenever any man is smart, we attract. But if that's not the case, then I am obliged to take it. So I'm not smart.
Honorable Moses Ochele have already committed it to your committee, so we expect the feedback within 1 week.
I oblige, Madam.
Yes. Yes, Honorable Sam Dede.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And as personal statement too. Madam Speaker, being that we are in a quagmire within the county, we've got a problem thereby. Our neighboring county is distributing the bursaries, like the Kisii County where Simbarati Day is distributing bursary to others. And I would like to know the status. When shall we receive ours, Madam Speaker? Thank you.
That needs to come through authority of the Speaker. So maybe just you can raise it through the right procedure. Okay, honorable members, I'd like to give a directive on amendment of the order paper, where we have order number 5 and 6 brought after number 7, because we had a very crucial paper that needs to be laid, and I've just received communication that it's ready. So I'd like to give the directive, and we have order number 5 and 6 brought after order number 7. So clerk, next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Yes, Honorable Ratib Boyton of Nyalenda A.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the Chair of Select Committee on County Budget and Appropriation, I wish to lay a report pursuant to the provision of orders number 182.6 of the standing orders. I wish to table today, Wednesday, 25th June 2025, report of the County Budget and Appropriation Committee on consideration of the estimates of revenue and expenditure for financial year 2025-2026 and the medium term. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, I'd like to confirm receipt of the report on the consideration of the estimates of revenue and expenditure for the financial year 2025-2026 and the medium term by the Select Committee on County Budget and Appropriations, and I'd like to commit this to the House Business Committee for scheduling. Next order, clerk.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Yes, Honorable Ratib Boyton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Again, on behalf of the Chair of the Budget and Appropriation Committee, Madam Speaker, that pursuant to the provision of orders number 45.1 of the standing orders, this House adopts the report of the County Budget and Appropriation Committee on consideration of the estimates of revenue and expenditure of the financial year 2025-2026 and the medium term. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Next order, clerk.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion on the adoption of the report of Labor and Social Welfare Services Committee on the recruitment of revenue and enforcement officers by the Kisumu County Public Service Board by the Honorable Zachary Okoyo.
Of Central Kisumu Ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I will do it in our moving notes. And Madam Speaker, the Committee on Labor and Social Welfare Services, pursuant to standing order number 41, 2B of the Kisumu County Assembly Standing Orders, received a statement that sought an explanation on the matter of recruitment of revenue and enforcement officers by Kisumu County Public Service Board. In the statement, it was noted that the board was entrusted by the County Revenue Board to recruit qualified and competent individuals for these positions. While it is understood that interviews were conducted, the status of the process remained unclear at the time the statement was raised. That the information sought would provide transparency and ensure adherence to the principles of fairness and inclusivity in the recruitment process. Madam Speaker, the statement therefore sought for response from the Committee on Labor and Social Welfare Services on the following. 1, the current stage of the recruitment exercise, whether it is completed or ongoing. 2, detailed report on the process, which should include A, the long and short listing procedures detailing how the applicants were evaluated and selected. B, the total number of individuals selected vis-a-vis their respective qualifications. And C, the distribution of recruitment officers across the sub-county wards, and detailed consideration of gender and the marginalized group. The committee therefore wrote to the Public Service Board and noted the following from the board's response. That request for recruitment was received from the county department and subsequently advertisement was placed inviting application for the positions. That after the closure of the application process, the long list was generated from the application received, and those who met the requirements were shortlisted for interviews based on considerations such as merit, regional balance, persons with disability, and gender, among others, as required by law. The board also confirmed that the process was undertaken in accordance with relevant labor laws. That with regard to the recruitment, sub-county revenue officers, the board recruitment 8 officers to fill in vacancies. Ward revenue officers, that is 35 officers. Sub-county enforcement officers, the board also recruitment 8 officers. Ward enforcement officers were also 35, Madam Speaker. The board also highlighted the distribution of officers across the sub-counties, wards, and gender as indicated in the table below. And I believe you saw it in your soft copy which was shared in our wall. Committee findings. Madam Speaker, the committee made the following findings as per the issues sought in the statement. The current stage of the recruitment exercise, whether it is completed or ongoing. That at the time of compiling this report, the committee noted that the recruitment exercise had already been completed. Detailed report of the process, which should include the long and short listing procedures detailing how the applicants were evaluated and selected. The committee noted that after the closure of the application process, the board generated a long list of applications received, and that those who met the requirement were shortlisted for the interview based on considerations such as merit, regional balance, persons with disability, and gender, among others, as required by law. The total number of individuals selected vis-a-vis their respective qualifications. This one, the committee noted that the board selected 8, that is sub-county revenue officers,
8 sub-county enforcement officers, 35 ward revenue officers, and 35 ward enforcement officers, of which 2 had not picked up their letters as of 5th July 2024. The board, however, did not submit to the committee the qualifications of 1 sub-county enforcement officer, 6 ward revenue officers, and 6 ward enforcement officers, even though the committee repeatedly requested information on the same. And this is found in Annexure 1. The distribution of recruitment officers across sub-counties and wards detailing considerations of gender and the marginalized group. The committee observed that the board indeed submitted a detailed response regarding the distribution of recruitment officers across sub-county wards and detailing consideration of gender and marginalized groups, and that recruitment was done in consideration of the aforementioned factors. Committee recommendations. Madam Speaker, based on the foregoing findings regarding the issues raised in the statement, the committee makes the following recommendations. 1, that the board should consider replacing the 2 officers. You remember the 2 officers who did not pick up their employment letters immediately with the best unselected but shortlisted, with the rest unselected and shortlisted individual, the ward enforcement category. That the board failed to submit to the committee the qualifications and professional experiences of the individual selected. This committee therefore recommends for further investigation into the specific qualifications of the said recruitment officers whose documentations were not used. 3, that the board should develop a comprehensive public report detailing each stage of recruitment process, including shortlisting, including long listing, shortlisting, and final selection for every recruitment. This report should be accessible to the public to enhance transparency and confidence in the recruitment process. Number 4, that while the current distribution shows consideration of gender and marginalized groups, it is essential to set clear targets for these considerations in future recruitments, and that the board develops policies to ensure that marginalized groups and gender representations are systematically and fairly considered in all recruitment processes. Number 5, that the board should normalize conducting a post-recruitment evaluation to assess the overall effectiveness of the recruitment process. This evaluation should include feedback from the recruitment officers, assess the alignment of recruitment outcomes with the advertised positions, and identify areas for improvement. Number 6, that in future, the Kisumu County Public Service Board should publicize a detailed report outlining the qualifications of all selected individuals after every recruitment in the county. This should include educational background, relevant experience, and other qualifications. Transparency in this area is crucial for public trust and for ensuring the merit-based nature of recruitment process. Number 7, that going forward, Kisumu County Public Service Board, should improve accountability, transparency, and efficiency in its operations by ensuring timely and comprehensive responses to inquiries made by the assembly committees. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, the board was not prompt in giving responses to the issues raised in the statement. Therefore, delaying the committee in considering and reporting within the stipulated timelines. The committee, therefore, would like to implore the Kisumu County Public Service Board to strictly adhere to the recommendations contained herein. It is therefore my honor and privilege on behalf of the Labor and Social Welfare Services Committee to move this motion before this Honorable House for adoption. I would like to call upon Honorable Oikopete to second, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Benny Pete Oiko of Kabonyo Kanyagwal Ward. Honorable members, and now that the report on the matter of recruitment of revenue and enforcement officers by the Kisumu County Public Service Board by the Committee on Labor and Social Welfare Services has been presented and seconded, and as per standing orders, I'd like to propose a question, and I propose that this report is now open for debate. Yes, Honorable Moses Ochele of Iskanowawi, the ward.
Yes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me to commend my friend, Honorable Zach, for bringing forth this overdue report. I also commend him that today he has not struggled in the usage of his 4 eyes. He has not looked for the 6th one. And Madam Speaker, it's also worth noting that the report brought at this stage somehow sounds stale, because the chair should have given us chance to actually get direct contact with the concerned board members. However, as we speak today, the so-called board members are not there. Their time elapsed. And for the chair to say that they were not cooperative, I think that incooperative nature of the board should have prompted the chair to bring a progress report. So once a progress report was brought here, then it would have been for the assembly to decide whether to summon the board or not. Because in that kind of recruitment, there were a lot of anomalies. And these anomalies could only be explained by the outgone board members. And Madam Speaker, bringing it now, and bearing in mind that we are expecting new board members, it is like we are passing this burden to the new board members to explain something that they did not partake of. It is right normally that when you hold office, you don't hold it as an individual entity, but as a public entity. However, there are certain matters that individuals must carry on their shoulders. Madam Chair, during that recruitment process, positions were advertised, more so stating ward revenue officers, ward enforcement officers. And Madam Speaker, it goes without saying, and it is natural norm, that whenever a ward is mentioned, then we have 35 wards. Therefore, the outcome should always reflect the 35 wards in this county, Madam Speaker. However, for the board, which are now outgone, Madam Speaker, they didn't take this into account. And the recruitment was skewed. And that's why probably they couldn't face the chair and this committee in explaining the biased nature of recruitment. You find certain wards went without any, and even certain sub-counties do not have their natives serving as the ward revenue officer. I know some members are always jittery because they are always at the defense of their natives. And that is not the spirit of this house. If you are a member of this house, don't always be on defensive. Because I come from Nyando, if anything done wrong by any member for Nyando, then I rise up to defend. Like my friend is always notorious of that. I believe today he will not defend anybody because they are not in office. He did his part.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
He did his part, and now we are expecting new team to come.
Point of information, Madam Speaker.
Secondly, Madam Speaker.
Honorable, yes, Honorable Dede, I can see you on your feet on a point of order.
Thank you. Under statement of facts for standing order 89, Madam Speaker, the Speaker who was on the floor should just come clearly to show that who defends the government directly. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Seto Kumu, I can. Yes, Honorable Moses Ochele, go ahead and give a response to that.
Madam Speaker, by the saying, the guilty are afraid. In fact, I wanted to mention him. He is Honorable Dede. So he has come out of the basket and mentioned himself. So you saved me a lot of energy on that.
Madam Speaker, point of order, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, secondly.
Honorable Dede, I haven't given you the permission to go.
Secondly, Madam Speaker.
I've been mentioned.
Honorable Dede.
Madam Speaker, I've been mentioned.
Receive your seat. Honorable Dede, receive your seat.
Madam Speaker, when a position is advertised, sometimes the board members take advantage, and I think the House should take this seriously, because we are expecting new board members to be in place, and we don't expect them to continue or to repeat the mistakes done by the previous board members. When positions are advertised, they appear in the long list, short list, and eventually interviewed. But at the point of recruitment, Madam Speaker, certain things seem to be happening. Certain things seem to be happening where those who did not merit, those who did not even make it to the short list, appear as recruited. And that is why they could only provide documents for certain recruits, but not others. Because they know if at all they provided, then this could have incriminated them. So I think this House should take this seriously before letters are issued out. I think the House should know if it is true indeed the due process was followed and those to be recruited merit. Because matter of merit must be a subject of this House. Otherwise, we'll be recruiting people who don't know merit. And this happens even at the county attorney's office, where we have 6 advocates, and none of them can appear in court because they were hired based on certain aspects in the society. Finally, Madam Speaker, the Committee of Labor is as a serious tool of investigating these matters. Now that the board members who are covering up these individuals were out, did they even get the chance to speak to the acting CEO? Because the acting CEO was left vulnerable and could divulge any information that was needed by this House. I don't think the chair went further to get this. Otherwise, by now he should have been telling us that the board members didn't appear before him and all were reluctant to appear, but the CEO who is acting today revealed this A, B, and C. Because I think, as at now, is ready to divulge more. So allow me to request the House to treat this report as a progress report so that we give him room to further investigate with the staff who are there. He's allowed to do that so that he comes with a full report, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Tom Nyaoke of North Nyakach.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to first start by thanking the honorable member, James Were, who brought into this House a very important statement. Mr. Speaker, the intention of this member was very important at that particular time. I do believe, if I look at the preamble of that report, Madam Speaker, it says, and very clearly,
Pursuant to Standing Orders number 41, 2B of the Kisumu County Assembly Standing Orders, Honorable James Were sought a statement from the chairperson of the Committee of Labor and Social Welfare on the matter of recent recruitment of revenue and enforcement officers by the Kisumu County Public Service Board. In the statement, he wanted several explanations. Mr. Speaker, at that particular point, when this statement was sought, I'm certainly sure that Honorable Were had certain information that he felt should be brought to this House for discussion. Madam Speaker, I'm kind of disappointed if some of this information was being received by the committee as early as March 2024. And up to date, when even people have left the offices, the people who did the recruitment have already gone home. Is it by commission or omission that this report is being brought here today, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, I would beg my fellow members that this is something that we still need to look into details. And therefore, I would want to support my brother, Honorable Ochele, on his suggestion that we request the chair of Labour Committee to see a standing order provision to allow us and allow the committee to go and find the detailed information that Honorable Were kindly requested at that particular time. Madam Speaker, we are fighting the issues here about revenue collection, Madam Speaker. Subsequently, the enforcement that is also supposed to help us in enlarging and expanding our revenue collection, Madam Speaker, cannot be treated casually like this, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are going to be crying here that we cannot be able to meet the targets of our on-source revenues, Madam Speaker. And this is, in fact, one of the ways that if we put and if we seal this kind of routes, Madam Speaker, we will be able to improve in our on-source revenue. Madam Speaker, I'm so sad to say that this is one of the reports that I will not request us to support the adoption, but I would request the relevant provisions of the standing orders be invoked so that we have time and we give the committee time to work on this report so that we are able to move forward. I thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to submit.
I can now support Honorable Nereo Kombo. Honorable Seto Kumu and Honorable Samuel Dede, you'll be next.
That this particular report needs to be treated as obsolete in the sense, Honorable Speaker, that the time for reporting has long passed. Mr. Speaker, this statement was sought more than a year ago. And Mr. Speaker, I want us to pay attention to the prayers, Madam Speaker, to the prayers sought by the seeker who was Bulwere. That was way back in March 2024. Number one was that the current stage of recruitment exercise, whether it is, Madam Speaker, that was 2024 March, detailed report of the process, which should include A, the long and short listing procedures, detailing how the applicants were evaluated and selected. B, the total number of individuals selected vis-a-vis. The C, the distribution of recruited officers across the sub-county wards, and detailing considerations of gender and the marginalized groups. Madam Speaker, just as the Honorable Ochele has said, this information would have helped then. The said officers have been in office more than a year. And Mr. Speaker, the House Business Committee adopted a primary school or secondary or school roster kind of planning where all committees are slotted sittings. Mr. Speaker, more than a year, the Labour Committee did not see it fit to work on a statement that was meant to be reported within 21 days. Mr. Speaker, and today they are recommending that the board should consider replacing the 2 officers who did not pick up their employment letters immediately with the best unselected but shortlisted individuals in the ward enforcement. They did not even consider, Madam Speaker, the prayers sought by Honorable Were. Their number 2 recommendation is that the board failed to submit to the committee the qualifications and professional experiences of the individual selected. They have a number of recommendations, Madam Speaker. These recommendations today, Madam Speaker, are obsolete. The board they are talking about had its term ended sometimes in November. We have a new board that is said to be approved by the House. And Mr. Speaker, the said individuals have moved to other places. And so I don't think it is beneficial for the House to have this report now. It is long overdue and therefore not necessary. But for the records, Mr. Speaker, maybe, and for clarity and sanity in the board, the committee needs to go back, if the House will allow, to do a report and now report back within the time frame given by the House. Because, Madam Speaker, they don't have an excuse of turning 21 days into 1.5 years. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, I don't support this report. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Seto Kumu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Allow me to join the Deputy Speaker in rejecting this report. Madam Speaker, we really respect the honorable members of the House, but going by the submission of Madam Deputy Speaker, the committee was given 21 days. Just for a start. They have taken 1.5 years to report back to this House. In fact, the honorable member for Nyalenda is rounding it off to 2 years. This is so interesting, very interesting. They waited for the board members to go home, then they bring for us a report here, saying very many things and nothing in particular. In fact, I was amazed when the Honorable Chair was saying that there were some 2 members, I think 2 officers who were recruited and did not pick the letters. And then he went ahead and mentioned that they did not pick those letters in 2024 March. And we are in July 2020, 2025. It is so interesting. I couldn't believe my ears. But as Speaker, even the documents they've mentioned for us to make reference to are not found in that report. They've said that the Public Service Board gave them a response via a letter referenced. Let me just find it so that we mention it, Madam Speaker. But that document cannot be found in this report unless I have a different report. Madam Speaker, I'm still looking at the reference they've made to the document. The reference is KEPSB /19/03/2024. Which is related to the Kerala Public Service Commission. Madam Speaker, I can't speak any further. I want to remember, so let's just reject this report. Let's agree that the Labour Committee could do very little. And let's give this report
to a committee that can handle it. And I believe the whole House committee can do a much better job, because the Labour committee was defeated. Thank you.
I'll give Honorable Rati Boyton of Jalena A ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me also to register my concern over the report. Madam Speaker, I was also just looking at the time frame, and very interestingly, the statement was sought in March 2023, and we are in June 2025. It states that now the report is coming to the floor of this House 27 months after it was read in this floor of the House. Madam Speaker, what amazes me and what I want to get proper clarification is this. After the committee had done its report, I believe the committee forwarded its report to House Business Committee for scheduling for a debate. I don't know whether the House Business Committee have some powers to look at the time frame of the report and give the committee a recommendation before bringing the report to the floor of this House. Because definitely a report of that nature, whether recommendations are good, whether recommendations are at what status, I doubt whether it could pass through the floor of this honorable House with dignified members. So, Madam Speaker, that was the concern that I really wanted to get from the floor of this honorable House. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, I really pity my brother, Honorable Ukoyo. I believe my brother in the near future will have to do a very thorough consultation before taking the path that he took. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
I'll give Honorable James Were of Nyalenda B, then Honorable Bill Oliver next.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I also rise to reject the report. Mr. Speaker, being that I'm the person who was seeking information regarding this, Madam Speaker, I'm not satisfied. Madam Speaker, I raised this particular statement because there's something we were trying to cure. Because as a matter of employment in this county, Madam Speaker, we needed answers before this process could conclude. Because the recruitment was taking a particular direction. Madam Speaker, in the future, we want that when employment is being, our recruitment is being conducted in this county, we want that it reflect the wishes of the 35 wards. And Madam Speaker, these are one of the prayers that were put forward. Even though the report is delivered 17 months later, Madam Speaker, all these prayers are not even indicated or answered in the report. Madam Speaker, I feel disappointed, and if there's a window that this committee can be granted, then this report be sent back to the sender so that they can rework on it, maybe just for future consideration, so that in the future we can cure what we intended to cure last year, which did not happen. Madam Speaker, it is in this regard that I want to implore on all our honorable members, or my honorable colleagues, that let us look at the time frame. If a committee is given mandate to handle a particular task within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, let us ensure that we adhere to the timelines. Because Maybe a member is seeking a statement because there's something that is going in the wrong direction that this report can cure, so that in future we don't make the same mistake. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, I reject this report in totality. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Bill Oliver of Kobura Ward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I read the report and without knowing this is something that was committed to the committee last year. So I really had points, but again, having realized this is something that is outdated, Madam Speaker, I ask that the committee to be given time to go and give us a good report, because there are issues that we really want to address as a house. Some of them, you realize that the board then didn't submit the qualifications of some people. So we have very critical issues that we really need to address. So, Madam Speaker, if you give them time, I believe this house will get the honor it deserves. And again, Madam Speaker, as I said, I'm worried, rather, I'm thinking loudly. How did the chair convince the members and also the vice, who is a very critical debater in this house, Benny Pete, to sign this document? So I don't know, maybe the signing came before the discussion, but really, the committee needs to do serious work. I reject the report.
Yes, Honorable Tom Monditi of Bombay Ward.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise to support the report. Madam Speaker, time notwithstanding, the issues that were raised in this report, Madam Speaker, some of them are still affecting us as a county to date. And therefore, by throwing out this report in totality, will not help us address the problems raised. I therefore suggest, Madam Speaker, let's treat this report as work in progress and make necessary adjustment or suggestion that will make the report improve and address the problem raised. If you look at the prayers to Roman 1 and 2, they are very critical prayers, Madam Speaker. We know that the report was not addressing, or we were not seeking answers from the individual officers in the institution of the Public Service Board. We were dealing with an institution, and I'm sure that institution called Public Service Board has not been abolished. And therefore, despite the fact that certain individuals are out, the office is still running, the records are there, we can still go back to those records and address the issues that are raised in this report. Madam Speaker, I pray that this House consider adopting this report so that it can be treated as work in progress. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister of...
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm also rising to support the report. First, I want to echo what Honorable Undita said, who says that if you leave the office, you go with the office. The board members have gone because of expiry of their contract. But that one does not show that, or does not mean that they cannot be called back to answer some questions. I believe this report should not be thrown away, because we want to use it to treat any other ailment that might come with a new board. Because if I thought that there were those messages that have been listed there. One thing that I know, the rule allows that maybe I was a manager somewhere. I did some recruitment, and this person was recruited. He has been earning salary maybe for a year, wrongfully, through my recruitment. Law accepts that. I should not be cleared and paid my dues. Like now, I believe that those board members have not been paid all their money. Suppose they mess and they're supposed to pay back, they can be surcharged. And we get money from what they're supposed to be paid. Let us support this report. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Geoffrey Warindo.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Let me also air my views on this. And from the onset, I want to believe that a stitch in time saves 9. And how I wish the committee took this seriously. Because the problems that we are facing today emanated from the process that was started 2 years back. And we valued, but then we had a lot of expectations from the revenue committee, from the revenue board. And we thought that by recruiting the ward revenue officers, the sub-county revenue officers, and those other enforcement officers who will help us meet the target that we are dealing with. Help us today.
Okay.
I was also very surprised because I was looking at my senior who is always an astute debater in this house. But I was waiting for what my senior will say in this matter, because he's also a member of the committee. But surprisingly or unfortunately, the senior also had nothing to say. So, Madam Speaker, let me be one of those who are rejecting this report and urging the committee to, at least next time, take the work seriously. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Benny Peter Iko.
Madam Speaker, the members are very right to point a finger at me, but Madam Speaker, I'm a member of this committee and I was given number 2 position. Madam Speaker, this report found me offside. And Madam Speaker, what has been aired by the members is very true. This report did not just come here for the sake of it. There is something, also there are matters that it is supposed to cure. There are matters this report is supposed to cure. And Madam Speaker had aired that this morning to my chair. I just didn't want to become rude to my chair. I had to be loyal. And I'm asking members of this House to treat this report with the respect it deserves, because it is supposed to cure something at the Public Service Board. But from what it is not curing. Because, Madam Speaker, getting the qualifications of the people they employed, they could not give us. They are telling us a boy has a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, a Bachelor of Science, Finance, which is okay, a CPA 3 holder, what, but they don't give the exhibit that this is the qualification of this candidate. How difficult it is to get that from the office of the Public Service Board. So, Madam Speaker, I have an urgent call to move out. I'm pleading with the members that even if it is rejected, it should come back after 6 months. If there's room to treat it as a progress report, Madam Speaker, this report is going to cure something. Article 226 allows this assembly to summon the former bosses who are in that office when this exercise was conducted. So let us use this as a springboard to dig out what is happening at the Public Service Board, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Samuel Dede.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me also raise my voice concerning the report on the floor. Madam Speaker, indeed, just a day when you were arguing over the revenue target, we are not able to cure all our projects due to we are not able to attain our own source revenue at stipulated time. What causes the insufficiency of own source revenue is that our collectors who does this work. We found that there were 35 ward revenue officers who are recruited. And if you get the ward revenue officers there, Madam Speaker, there are also some other superpower amongst them. If you bring them to the wards, you get a market superintendent working together with the ward revenue officer, which makes them difficulties. Madam Speaker, under the qualification of the sub-county officers, they are also not clearly stipulated under the report which you have been given, finding that the 8 sub-county officers, even distributing the sub-county revenue officers is a problem. We find that a sub-county with the least number of wards getting higher percent, somehow higher percentage, a sub-county like Seme. If you want 8, suppose there would have been even redistribution, we would have received 1 per sub-county. Here you get that a sub-county with 4 wards giving us 2. And a sub-county like Kisumu West coming out nil. It means the people in Kisumu West, they are not even featuring anywhere the 5 wards, where a sub-county is getting 2 in the report. Madam Speaker, the public service board we are talking of is not in place at the moment. And it's in order that we would have talked over the matter while the board would have been in place. And we found that the board went almost 3 months ago is when the report is being brought back to the assembly. And under the recommendation 4, that the committee need to set us clear target. And it's already stated by the law that 30% should come from the marginalized community. And the person living with disability should also form a third in the recruitment. Here is now they want to set a target, yet the target has already been set by law. Madam Speaker, under this, the recruitment score sheet, there were advertisements, those who applied, long-listed, short-listed, and there are those who have managed to get the 8 positions. We don't have even the scores. But in order to get the 8 out of the 26 interviewed, there should have been a score sheet showing that such a person scored such a marks in such a area, which is not indicated in this report, Madam Speaker. Also, going to the report, we've been stated that you read the letter annex such and such. The letters are not even, the letters say stipulated are not nowhere to be read, Madam Speaker. You see that under, they claim that under the annex 2, other stock of KPSB, the Kerala Public Service Board. Indeed, the Kerala advertised some posts, and there were 2 posts under statistical investigator in the same date which they are talking of. We found that they advertised the statistical investigators assistant, the two of them in that report. So it means it was copy-pasted from the Kerala, not from the Kisumu County Public Service Board. Madam Speaker, we have not receiving, after the interviews, Madam Speaker, there must have been a regular letter to those who have not managed to be recruited. The Public Service Board would have written a letter, regret letter, showing that those who did not qualify, showing regrets, and then indicating when they shall be considered next time in case of any recruitment. Madam Speaker, bringing a report 1.5 years down the line, it's also wrong. And by conclusion, you've seen the committee of all members concluding by saying that they were not able to bring the report on time, being that the Public Service Board didn't provide them with clear information. If you come to the last page under the conclusion part of it, you see that they are claiming that they were not able to bring the report on time, being that the board didn't bring it on time. And as a committee, they would have treated the report as a progress report. By the time they were given at a level of about 14 to 21 days, they would have brought what they found at that particular time. And if they are concluding by that, they delayed with the report, being that the board didn't relay information on time, it means the committee were not serious with their work. They would have brought the progressive report within the stipulated time which was given by the report. So, Madam Speaker, I stand to reject this report. Thank you.
Honorable members, we are still on the debate on the motion by the Labour Committee. Yes, Honorable Sami.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, may I call the motion reply? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker. Shut down. Madam Speaker, let me start by appreciating or commending my colleagues who have contributed to this report. Madam Speaker, I want to mention that this report is one of the reports which should be. This report is one of the reports which should be adopted and passed because, Madam Speaker, it's a report which is going to cure so many diseases which has been there before. Madam Speaker, I'm happy with the Honorable Seth contributions. But Madam Speaker, I wonder why he's calling this report skewed. Because, Madam Speaker, this report, whether is coming late in the day, but it can still cure a lot of diseases which were there before. Madam Speaker, I believe Honorable Seth is aware that this is the board which was the most rotten public service board which were supposed to be going home before their contract ended. And we were dealing with rogues, and we could only get this information as we are getting them now. Madam Speaker, allow me to proceed. Madam Speaker, please ask members who are not happy with what I'm putting across to just keep quiet. Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, we all had time to debate, and please let's give time to the mover of the motion.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, up to this moment, you can see we are still asking the Office of the Public Service Board to give us some of the details which could make this report to be having the weight so that we could adopt it. But Madam Speaker, I want to tell you, just like any other members or other members who have agreed with us, we passed this report because this report will help us in finding way on how to deal with the Public Service Board, which is soon coming in. Madam Speaker, I would ask the members who are asking the report to be rejected, and more so Honorable Seth, that this is not a report on bursary which has time limit. This is a report which has life to be considered, because the Public Service Board is here to stay. Madam Speaker, this is why we had a recommendation on recommendation number 2. Sorry, Madam Speaker. The recommendation number 2, Madam Speaker, states very well that the biggest stumbling block was issuance of or submission of the right documents from Public Service Board. But because we could not get them, we had to bring this report to the House so that we can see what to do. Even if this report is treated as a progressive report, but it had to be brought to the Assembly so that members could know where the Public Service Board went wrong and why we are having a board, revenue board, which could not perform because even the recruitment itself, we could not get the right details or right information which could let us know that the right people were recruited for these offices. Madam Speaker, because I want to clear, Madam Speaker, Honorable Nerea called this report obsolete. But Madam Speaker, how can a report be obsolete and we still have the Public Service Board offices, which are not individual offices? This is an institution which is still be there and will still be there. But for the first time, we are getting a report from the office which has not been cooperative enough to give us the report to lay to the House. So, Madam Speaker, we should not treat this report as obsolete. It is going to cure a lot of issues, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me appreciate the members who saw the sense of supporting this report to be adopted, because they know we are not here for today, and we are not here for just a reason. We are here to build the legacy which will at some point be used to determine whether the officers which are there are working by the required laws. Madam Speaker, in our recommendation to finish this, we even propose that we do a policy so that the Public Service Board can make everything which they have done public to this Assembly and to the general members. Because If this was done, we could have not struggled to have all this information which could not be released from that office in good time. So, Madam Speaker, I would ask the members, please, if you want us to move on with this report, let us adopt this report so that we can get the Public Service Board which is coming in, or the CEO who is still there but is struggling to get the right information, so that he gives us the right information and we bring to this honorable house. And Madam Speaker, I reply.
Honorable members, and now that the report on the matter of recruitment of revenue and enforcement officers by the Kisumu County Public Service Board, by the Committee on Labor and Social Welfare Services has been presented, seconded, and debated. And it's time for me to put a question. And I put that as many of the opinion that this report be adopted, say aye.
Aye.
And as many of the contrary opinion say nay.
Nay.
And the nays have it. And therefore, I direct, and therefore the report, and therefore the report on the matter of recruitment of revenue and enforcement officers by the other honorable members, and the report on the matter of recruitment of revenue and enforcement officers by the Kisumu County Public Service Board, by the Committee on Labor and Social Welfare Services, has been rejected today, Wednesday, the 25th of June, 2025 at 16:18 hours. And as per standing orders, which I'll quote, that is standing order number 47, that states that no motion may be moved which is the same in substance as any question which has been resolved either in the affirmative or in the negative during the preceding 6 months in the same session. And therefore, such a matter can only be introduced to the House after the expiry of 6 months. Next order, clerk.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and honorable members. There is no any other business to transact in the order paper.
Honorable members, and there being no any other business to transact, this House stands adjourned until tomorrow, Thursday, the 26th of June, 2025 at 2:30 p.m.